Right now we're going to be working with covalent compounds, specifically names and formulas. So if you're given the name, can you determine the molecular formula? If you're given the molecular formula, can you determine the IUPAC name? And this is just for the covalent compounds. So you can tell something is covalent if it's two nonmetals bound together, or if it's got a group 4 atom in there, it's going to probably be covalent. This will not have a metal and a nonmetal. Those are ionic. Those are formed by ions. These have shared electrons, which is different. So these bonds are really quite strong. Okay, and looking at the names, we can tell if it's covalent rather than ionic because we've got these number prefixes. So just looking at these words, carbon tetrachloride, we see tetra, dihydrogen monoxide, we see di, we see mono. So let's just quickly review. For our covalent compounds, the number of atoms that there are tell us the prefix that we need to add into the name. So if it's 1, it's mono. Hopefully these are refreshers for you. 2 is di, and prefix, remember, it comes before, so the atom will come after. 3 is tri. 4 is tetra. 5 is penta. 6, like witch, is hexa. 7 is hepta. 8 is octa. 9 is nona. And 10 is deca, like December. Okay, so now looking at this, deriving the formulas is ridiculously easy because we remember the rules for naming. If there's only 1 in the first word, we can drop the mono because obviously there has to be 1 if the atom is there. So here, carbon tetrachloride, we know that there's at least 1 carbon, and we know that there are 4 Cl's. So how do we put this together to make a formula? Well, the number is always going to be a subscript. So C, we know there's 1, we don't have to write 1. Cl, and then this little number right after as a subscript, that tells us the number of atoms. So that's it. We know we have 1 carbon because it says carbon. Tetrachloride, there's 4 chlorides. Okay, let's practice again. Dihydrogen monoxide. So pause the video, try this one on your own, then come back. Okay, so dihydrogen, we know that we have 2 hydrogens. Monoxide, we have 1 oxygen. Okay, so we're going to write this. There's 2 hydrogens, there's 1 oxygen, we don't have to write the number 1. H2O, you might also know this as water. Okay, so that's really quite simple. Okay, so for the next ones, we need to derive the name because we're given the formula. So for N2O3, we know that 2 means di. So this is going to be di-nitrogen. The first atom, we don't do anything special to its name. But for the second one, it's going to have to end in "ide." Okay, so then we're going to have 3. 3 means tri. So tri-ox, instead of saying oxygen, we're going to say oxide. So trioxide. Okay, so dinitrogen trioxide will give us this formula, dinitrogen trioxide. Okay, so now pause the video, work on the second one, see what you come up with. Okay, welcome back. So now we've got 1 sulfur, 2 bromides. We don't have to write mono if it's in the first one. We only have to write mono if it's in the second. So this is going to be sulfur, di, because there's 2 of them, bromide. And that's it.